Driving, whether it is to drop kids to and fro, we're driving them to and fro school or for classes, or maybe even driving to and fro from your workplace. So I have seen as a mom that at least I spend a considerable amount of time driving the car for myself or for my kids. And even as working moms, we sit for long hours at our desks. We maybe, if you're one of those moms who are traveling for work or you're sitting in long flights, there's a lot of sitting that's involved in our day-to-day activities. Now, today, let's talk about 4 tips for you if you are one of those moms who feel like you're not able to maintain a good posture when you're driving, or you're slouching or slumping onto the steering wheel and you're like driving like this and you're not sitting upright or in a good posture. Now, before I get into this topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and joint pain. I do this by giving you simple exercises, easy lifestyle changes, tips, tricks, hacks, basically all the easy stuff that you can implement into your existing daily routine without taking out a chunk of time. I also talk about some non-toxic natural products that have helped me in my own joint and spinal pain journey. So let's get back to the topic for today, which is 4 simple tips to prevent slouching when driving. Now, the very first thing is, when you are driving, try and sit back into your seat. So your bottom should be touching the junction of the back and the base of the seat. So, when your car seat is in this L shape, so you should be sitting right back into that seat. However, keep in mind when you're sitting in that seat that you should have a distance of about 1 inch or about 3 to 4 centimeters from the edge of the seat to the back of your knee. Now, the back of the knee has a lot of nerves and important structures. So sometimes if you are sitting right back, it can happen that the back of your knee hits the edge of the seat. And there will be a lot of pressure on the back of your knee. You may not realize it in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes or first few days of driving, but eventually over the days and weeks it will build up, and that pressure will be felt in the back of the knee. It could lead to nerve pains and other discomforts in and around the leg and knee area. So what you can do is, if you are sitting right back into your car seat but you feel that it is jutting into the back of your knees, put a little cushion behind you so that you are still sitting back against the cushion, but there is a little bit of distance between the edge of the seat and your knee joint, the back of your knee. So what happens if you do not sit right back into the seat is, there is a gap between that, the junction of the back and the base of the seat, and then you are sitting over here. So when, after say driving for some time, or if you have weak back muscles, we naturally tend to then go back for a support. However, what will happen is, just imagine in your mind, or do this on the chair as you're listening to me. If you do not sit back into the chair and you're leaning back into the backrest, you will automatically tend to round your lower back, and that will lead to slumping of your lower back, basically a rounded lower back. So obviously in the long run, this will lead to back pain, and you do not want to be in a poor posture, right? It can have a lot of complications. So actually, if you are looking for why should you maintain a good posture, you can go to my YouTube channel. I have done quite a few videos on good posture, whether it is sitting posture, standing posture, sleeping posture. Yes, your sleeping posture is also important. So you can go to the YouTube and type my name, Swati Prakash, followed by posture or sleeping posture, and you will come up with these videos. You can have a look and that'll give you the details. Okay, so coming back, point number 2 is, if you have a car seat which does not have a lumbar support, basically what that means is it does not have that support to sit into the curve of your lumbar spine. So if you are sitting like this is your lumbar spine, this is the natural curve of your lumbar spine, this is your back, this is your front, you're looking at somebody sitting sideways. So if this lumbar curve, the muscles inside the lumbar curve, especially the deeper part of the curves here, is not supported, you will automatically tend to lean back into your car seat, and that will again lead to rounding of your lower back, so basically slouching into your seat. Now what happens is, if you look at this lumbar curve here, and this is your car seat, so do you see how this top and bottom part, the muscles here will be supported, but the muscles in the deeper part of the curve, they will have absolutely no support. If you do not have a lumbar support, you can roll up a towel, a bath towel or a sheet, and you can roll it up, or a jacket really, if you have forgotten, if you don't have access to any of these, or you've forgotten it at home, you can roll up a jacket or a towel and then pop it into the curve of your lower back, so that these muscles in the deeper part of the curve are also supported well when you're driving. All right, so that is for the lumbar support. Of course, you do get lumbar supports in the market, and I will leave a link to a blog in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link will be in my bio. In that blog, I have got the link to the lumbar supports that I have used in my car, and they work quite well for me. All right, so moving on, the third tip for you is, if you are one of those who slouch, and if you feel like you are always leaning onto the steering wheel, so you're basically leaning forwards, this is a tip for you. You can take a tennis ball or a spiky massage ball, or you can roll up a hand towel and put it in between your shoulder blades. So there's no specific area, but like just anywhere between your shoulder blades, so the top to mid part of your shoulder blades. And what will happen is, suppose I have this ball, and if I'm, say, sitting in my car, now that ball is sitting in between my shoulder blades, and it is in between my car seat and my thoracic spine. Now the moment I slouch forward, what happens is this ball fell down, so it slid down my back. So when that happens, it gives your brain that feedback saying, oh, the ball has slid off or has fallen down. You need to correct your posture. So you need to sit back into the chair so your thoracic spine is not slouched over and you're not rounding your shoulders, because this then causes a lot of strain around your neck and shoulder and mid back area. So this was tip number 3. Now, tip number 4 for you is, when you are sitting, so if you look at yourself sideways, you can actually get somebody to take a picture of yours if you want. So when you're sitting sideways, the level of your hip joint, so basically where your trunk is attached to your thigh bone, that is your hip joint, should be slightly higher than the level of your knee joint. So basically where your thigh attaches to your leg. I mean, everybody knows what a knee joint is, but just telling you that your hip joint should be slightly higher than your knee joint. The reason being, the moment you do that, your pelvis is tilted anteriorly or forwards. The moment you sit forwards like this, your lower back will be in a proper alignment, and there's absolutely no way that you can slouch back into the seat. When you're slouching back, your pelvis tilts posteriorly, so basically it tilts backwards. So when you tilt your pelvis slightly forwards, just about like 2 to 5 degrees forwards, your lumbar spine is automatically in a good posture, or a neutral position basically. So it's in good alignment, and then you have that ball sitting behind your thoracic spine, and this will prevent slouching and slumping both at your lower back and your thoracic spine. So basically, it will prevent rounded lower back and rounded shoulders and mid back as well. So these were the 4 tips that I wanted to give you today. And these are like easy things that you can implement starting today itself when you are sitting in your car. Of course, these can be translated to your office chair as well. But right now, let's stick to the driving part. As I said, I will leave a link in the description of this video to a blog that has more details on this topic. And yeah, I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions for me, any comments on this video, do drop them below and I will address them for you. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.